Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Adrian and Yaroslav with another episode of The Friendly Show. And today with us we have Mariusz Koziel. He's a fresh CEO of Visuality. You've probably seen him in different conferences around Europe. Starting last year, they started hosting their own conference, and we'll get to that in a second. But Mariusz, hey, how are you? How's it going?
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you, Adrian and yourself, for the invitation. It's something
Yeah,
new
for sure.
for me also to be at that kind of recordings.
No, that's perfect. I think the world like needs to find out about you and visuality and the things you do.
I feel like
But
they
let's
already know somehow.
yes, some people already know that. You're right. But let's go like a little bit in the beginning. Like, how did you start programming? Why Ruby? How did you get here?
uh, okay, I think it will be not that complicated question because I wrote some message on our Discord about how I started with programming. And my journey started on study. It was a IT study, but the specialization was operational and network systems. But for sure, there was also programming classes. And at the beginning, I was on my study. I was like more a partying guy than this one who was learning deeply. And I remember that there was a rule, free Z rule. In Polish, is Zakuj, Zdaj, and Zapomnij, which mean learn, pass, and forget. And
Okay.
after some time, I realized that, okay, maybe I have to do something more and get something from that study. And for my master thesis, I decided to do something uh, crea- creative, and I decided to learn programming. And even that time, I preferred to do it in Ruby because I have a friend in my current job, uh, which was IT related but not programming at all. Uh, my friend convinced me to do Ruby, um, and uh, I tried to convince my master thesis uh, teacher to do it in Ruby, but he said, "No, we do it in PHP because there is more material in the internet about PHP. Ruby is too fresh, and you will not get the knowledge, and it will be too difficult." So it was my first uh, problem with Ruby at the beginning. It started from the beginning, but I did it in PHP, uh, and I learned so much. And I decided to go that path, and it was really cool. In my current job, this IT related, it was like I started programming there too, but it was my second problem with Ruby that I still want to go with Ruby, but my corporation decide no, it's not our way of doing. Let's do C Sharp and Visual Basic with .NET. It's our way of doing, and we will not buy you this $50 course for Ruby. No way. It's a rules. So it was also difficult at the beginning because of that. And I started with C Sharp and Visual Basic, but
How
still,
long ago was that?
how long?
How long ago was
It
that?
was around 2010.
Okay, so about 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Gotcha.
unfortunately, at the beginning in this corporation, I don't have regular good standards. It was like I know already from Ruby that there is importance of writing tests, and everything was structured well, everything in the classes, objects, and so on. And my code in C Sharp in Visual Basic in the corporation was like one big class, ifs on the ifs, and it was crazy. But it's worked. It's worked at the end, and there is this sentence: if something looks stupid, but it's working, it's not stupid.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. If it works,
Uh,
it works. I'll
yeah,
take
it
that.
works
Yeah.
at the beginning, and I even did really cool things there in the comparison. So the whole Warsaw department used my tools for time tracking. It was 200 people, something like that. So it was already a success at the beginning, even that bad
Nice.
quality code.
Nice.
And then after a year or two with that approach, I decided to make a step forward and I become a junior Ruby developer.
How did you
Uh,
do that?
in the meantime, I'm learning Ruby. Still, they don't accept to buy me these courses, but I did by myself.
And how did you learn? What were the resources that you used? And did you build any projects with it to learn more?
Oh, it's kind of difficult to now to remind, but for sure, this friend uh, helped me a lot at the beginning with basics. Then I also take courses. It was like Rails for Zombies. Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah, 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 some of
It
it, some of
was
it.
really cool. I remember that it was really cool, but it was interactive courses. And probably there was some application, but I don't remember now.
Okay. And
No,
what was your first Ruby job?
my first Ruby job, I even switched to I went down with my salary because I become a junior developer, not somebody in my corporation, previous corporation, and it was a software house. And from the beginning, I was thrown in a deep water because they immediately they wrote that I have 3 years of experience, and it was funny, but it also pushed me to to learn faster. To sometimes maybe also make me stressed so much, but I stay longer in work and I try to finish my tasks and so on. So it was difficult, but
Yeah.
also it's went surprisingly good at the end. Yeah, that I learned so much, and
Yeah.
I stayed there in 2 years or 2.5 or something like that. I don't remember. I have to check my LinkedIn. And then I jumped between two other companies before I came to Visuality.
And
Okay.
yeah, actually, that's a very interesting story about how I know Mariusz and how I know Visuality. So in 2015, I was just walking down a hallway in a university in Warsaw. It was Vistula University, and there was a poster, a physical poster, programming lessons for anybody from zero. Come, I don't know, on the 2nd of March to Auditorium A. So I think, okay, let me like just come and see what kind of programming course this is. And I just came there, and it happened to be a Ruby course, and it was being taught by a guy from Visuality. It was Sakir Temel that used
Mm-hmm.
to work at Visuality, and basically he like absolutely occasionally introduced me to Ruby on Rails with those like maybe 4 or 5 university lessons. So yeah, that's where I know Visuality from, and I think I've been to your barbecue like 5 or 6 years ago for the first time,
Yes,
and
yes.
I've like a year and a half ago. I also went to one of your barbecue parties at Visuality, the famous ones. It was, I think, end of summer, and I also gave a short talk about Vue components and Hotfire. It was maybe my first ever public appearance and like talking about Ruby on Rails to a live audience. And already after that, I started doing a few conference talks.
Yeah, I remember that he was invited by Andrzej, one of the organizer of Wroclaw, to be a speaker on the next conference. So it was awesome that that kind of connection are happening on the meetups, which we are created. So it's really cool, and it's crazy how those roads of our Ruby developers cross, because I have also really good friend, and it's funny that he was in the first company which I applied to, and I passed my recruitment, but I not decided to go there because it was so far away in Warsaw that I decided I will be not going there 45 or 50 minutes every day in one direction. Fuck. And our roads cross in for 3-4 years later, and now it's we are together all the time,
Nice.
a lot of ideas and so on.
Do Do you still organize those programming courses at the university?
Unfortunately not. There was the last time which we tried to organize it. It was before the pandemic. Oh, there was some difficulties that we trying to get it, and there was problem with university, and then they accepted, and it was at the beginning of the pandemic, so we had to cancel it,
Yeah,
and we have never come
yeah,
back to it. But we organized the Visuality Academy, which was remote learning.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. I think this is. I always talk to people. I think this is one of the most important aspects of like making Ruby more known to people is to have it introduced in schools. Have people, have students access, give them access to it way sooner than they having to find out about it on Reddit or from different communities. Just put it in schools and say, hey, this is Ruby. This is how it works. Look how beautiful it is. How easy it makes your life. Easy it makes your lives. And if we had that more, I think Ruby would be much more popular than it is today. So yeah, think about like doing this again
Yeah.
because yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, you have right,
Yeah,
because there's even a situation when there is an option to go Ruby on the university, but nobody choose that because there is not a lot of interest in that, or people saying that go Python because Python is so popular and there is so many offers on the market.
Well,
Yes.
like I know there were maybe just 8 people who visited this like short introductory course together with me, and out of like 8 people, at least three made it a career. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a very high success rate if you like I know give 5 or 6 introductory 2 hour lessons to 8 people and 3 of them make it their whole career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Now you're convinced me to do that.
Definitely.
Sometimes great, yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us
and
how you. Yeah, go for it.
do it, do it.
Okay. Tell us how did you get to Visuality and then tell us what is Visuality and what do you guys do there?
So Visuality is a software house from Warsaw, specializing, of course, in Ruby and Ruby on Rails. But there is also front-end department which specializes in React.js. And we have consultants and specialists for performance, database, and so on. So that everything is around Ruby basically, because
Nice.
maybe it's because of me and people around. So
Nice.
we had some experience with Golang, for example. We tried it. We have a few people, but it's end. It's unfortunately it's ended, and we stay with Ruby because we are good at Ruby.
That's good. And you
And
organize the meetups in Warsaw. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
sure. So after the pandemic, there was a situation that there is no meetups in the market and nobody are reactivating them, even if the situation in the world was already cool and stable. So we have decided to do that. At the beginning, we tried to convince the previous organizer to do that and share some responsibilities with us. They have already their own idea for it, and they tried. Let's say that, to be honest, and they tried. We was there. We gave representations. There was not all of our attendees, and they make immediately after that they make a break for the vacation. So we decided, let's do it. Let's try it. Why not? What is better than one meetup in a month? Two meetups in a month. We can do it. We can handle it. and it was a great success when we did it. So it was 50 people on the first meetup, which
That
was
that's good.
surprising well
That's
for
good.
us. Yeah. And
Okay.
there was 4 talks on the first one, so we did it well. And from that time we are doing it almost every month. There was 2 breaks.
Okay. From that time, from 2020,
Uh,
about
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
It's
Okay. Gotcha.
yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
It's
I've
really
even been to one of your meetups, and it's quite nice. Many people came, and I think you have a very engaged community, and that's very good. That's very cool.
there's always ups and downs. Sometimes there is 50 people, sometimes it's 25 or 30.
Of course,
But it's
of
kind of
course.
stable
Talking
a
about
month.
talking about an engaged community. Generally, I have the impression that Ruby on Rails, well, I would say not on Rails, but just Ruby is like really big in Poland, and each major city has its own hub and its own meetups for Ruby developers. And also, like Hanami comes from Poland. There is Wrocław RB that has been happening for like a decade now. Uh, is it just my impression, or is Ruby really big in Poland? And what are your thoughts about it?
Yes, so Ruby is big in Poland, it's true. I even not realized, I wasn't aware of that, I don't know, 4 years ago, that that we are that unique, that we have so many Ruby developers. I thought that it's the same amount in probably every country in the Europe, but it's not true. And now I know it really well. And it's true that there is a lot of Ruby users group in multiple cities. They reactivated really well, but some of them are still quiet or they now started. We even created a bigger community named Polish Ruby User Group, which joining until now 3 or 4 different meetups in Poznań, Warsaw, and Białystok. And we collaboration with each other, sharing speakers and so on. And now we decided to activate more cities, and there is a Łódź, which is exact center of the Poland, so it's a really good place to do that because all people around Poland can came. But there was difficulties to gather the previous organizer and convince them to do that. Of course, yeah, I understand that it's not a priority for everybody, and they maybe will do
Yeah.
that, but we decided to help them, and we organized the first Polish Ruby user group meetup on the road, and we created a meetup in which 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, there was the first meetup. There was 35 people, and we found the new organizer of the meetups. He is correlated with the original which Ruby user group, so
Okay.
it's still staying the same thing.
But
So we're happy that we achieved that.
nice. Congrats. But why do you think there's such a high presence of Ruby developers in Poland? What can the rest of the countries do to to do that? I mean, what led to that? What's your opinion?
I think it's not now. It's not a current situation. It's built through the years. So the meetups, for example, was really strong before the pandemic. And for example, when I created a presentation also about our meetups community and so on, and I mentioned there about the previous organizers, so was the Ruby user group, and I count how many meetups they have, how many people, how many workshops. It was incredible amount. So there was 116 meetups through 10 years, something like that. So it's cool. It's really cool. I learned so much things there, and there was years where there was 80, 90 people on each meetup. So it was that there was
Wow.
some that kind of time. And the previous organizer was really active, and there was a group which I named them dinosaurs. The Ruby dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs RB.
Dinosaurs are, yeah, they really led the community and the popularity of the language in Poland. They learned, for example, on the studies, as you said.
Okay.
It was a situation like that. So I think it's not now. It's still keep going with the popularity of the Ruby.
So it's building the community in time. This is it. Like, having the meetups, the user groups, and helping each other, and
Of
just
course, it's only
improving the
one
community.
thing. I think it's only a part of that, but there was a lot of software houses at the beginning. Started in Poland, so companies came to Poland to build their own product houses. And
Gotcha.
it's important is also that we were cheaper.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if
That
we
makes
are
sense.
still, but
Yeah.
the Poland was cheaper.
Mariusz, we met at a conference at Wrocław RB last year.
Yes.
Tell me about conference. And then this year we met numerous
At a lot of
times
conferences.
at a lot of conferences. Tell me about conference. Do you usually go to this many, or or was this year something special?
I think this year those 2 years were special.
Okay.
But previously it was like I was on Euroqueen in Sofia. I was in Wrocław multiple times. There was a conference Railsbury, which I have a very interesting story from there also. It was in Krakow, but it was 10 years ago or something like that. So I visited a few conferences. At the beginning of my career, I more visited local meetups, and now I'm more I'm going around the Europe to visit conferences.
Visiting this many conferences, did that trigger you to host your own? Tell us about that. Tell us about the community that you hosted last year and you're bringing back this year.
I think it's a really significant fact that I'm going to that conferences and I met so many people, and I'm really like to do it, this networking part, and in general friendly atmosphere on those places and in those conferences. I think I have already a lot of friends from there. One situation is when I after the conference I went with Nick Sotterer to Berlin and went with him to the punk concert, which is not my pair of shoes, but still I was there and it was crazy idea and it was fun. I have a lot of friends also in Lithuania, you guys, and of other friends. So I'm happy with that to gather those friends, and it's really important because of that. The community was the second thing. So at the beginning it was like, let's try the community. We are ready for it. We have our backend meetings and we share a lot of knowledge so we can create a presentation. We already had some. So let's do it, and it's go through the time that we decided on the meetup anniversary. Let's do something bigger. Let's do the conference, and it was like prepared in 1 month, so it was like bigger meetup, let's say, but it went really well. So, and I really like organizing stuff, that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's like nervous and difficulties with the stupid things. Like on the previous one, there was a problem with website, with the analysis, with.
You're always gonna have problems. No worries. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I remember how you were doing the Euruko pitch. So I was looking for another reason to go to Warsaw in a year if we have Euruko Warsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
next year.
maybe next year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
I mean, you will have to somehow get to Tuzla to be able to pitch.
yes, I know. I will try to do it. there is a guy in Poland who said we can rent a charter. Why not? We
I
are
mean, how else do you get
inspired.
to Tuzla?
It's possible to do that. Let's do it. And we said, you
Yeah.
are doing, we are paying. Will be fine.
So
So
you
maybe
can say
we'll,
that you have to go to Yuruko like because it's your job. You have to pitch the conference there, the next Yuruko in Warsaw. So you have to do it. You have to be there.
they won there. There was a really cool pitch. So I really would like to go there to see the
Of
player.
course. Of course, of course. Tell
I'm
us about
sadly not
the
one, but still.
the conference next year. When is it happening? In January,
It's 2nd February.
February, 2nd
Yes.
February. Okay.
2nd February is the one-day conference. It's also that the idea is quite a similar, which we pitch on the Euroco, that we would like to share knowledge through the practice. So we would like to make workshops, and it's an important part for us. So there will be workshops at the morning, and there will be a presentations part. There will be only 4 presentations, so it's like on the first conference, people said that there was a survey, and people give really positive feedback about the agenda, how the format of the conference looked like. So some of the people came directly to the conference. Some of them was on the workshops, and they said that it wasn't that tired like whole day of the presentation, where you feel after 4 or 5 or 6 presentations you feel already tired. And I know about it. It's difficult to get,
Yeah.
especially if there's multiple days in a row and partying in the middle, which there are partings all
Yeah.
in the middle.
And so, what workshops, what talks can we expect?
So there will be, for sure, about the workshops, there will be workshops making a game in Ruby on Rails, which will be done by Paweł Strzałkowski, who was one of the speaker on the previous conference, and he is a CTO of Visuality. There was they really liked the presentation, and then on the Euroco there was a Tetris game built also like that, and all people played it, and there was a tickets. People could get tickets from that game, and now there will be creating that kind of game. It will, of course, different one, not the Tetris one, not there was at the beginning there was a dragons or something the real game.
Okay.
Now there will be a different one, and I think it can be also a lot of fun because people would like to make games. All of us thought that let's do game development, but it's changed. And it's one workshop which are announced already, and we thought that maybe we'll stay with one, but now we have so many attendees already that we are thinking to give possibilities to more people to attend the workshop also, because it's impossible to do workshops for more than 20 people, in our opinion.
Okay.
So we will create another workshops, and there is few ideas, and there could be a workshop about dry Ruby. There might be a workshop about performance in the Ruby on Rails applications, and there is an idea to make workshops for juniors, or truly beginners. But then it will be really difficult to understand. For the really beginners, it will be a really difficult conference after that. So I think more like workshops for the juniors who would like to become a mid, so some kind of important steps on the road, and some, I don't know. We had that kind of workshops after our Visuality Academy, and we learn about, for example, about TDD. There was also some stuff with deployment hierarchy. I don't remember, but there was a few points which are really important on the.
So these junior workshops, are these intended for people that have done a little bit of development, not for somebody that hasn't done anything, right?
Yes, yes. In my opinion, it's better like that because
Okay.
if you want to learn from scratch, it's not a conference. It's not this conference.
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
for
Yep. Yep. Yep.
for the really beginners. Yeah. For
Nice.
juniors who
Yeah, makes
already
sense.
learn something, they will for sure get a lot from it. But for
Yeah.
somebody who is learning the basics, it will be difficult topics in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Adrian, Mariusz, I have a question to both of you. So both of you have or are going to organize conferences, and how do you decide, like, 1 day conference or 2 day conference?
It's
You
a
want to go?
difficult question. So for us, it came from the meetup. So we kind of make a bigger meetup, and the people was happy with the approach. So we stay with that. But still, we discuss a lot. Let's do maybe the whole day conference, or maybe 2 days conference. Oh no, 2 days it's too much. Let's go with the small steps. And for sure, I have speakers for the whole day conference, or maybe even more. But we decided to get the best one and to create maybe half day of the conference for presentation and the workshops, and it's really cool to do that. What about you, Adrian?
So I think I knew right away when I wanted to put on a conference that I wanted a 2 day and single track. So this was definitely something that I knew I wanted to do, and it was because I've been to like 1 day conferences and to 2 day conferences, and my feeling is when you're going to a 1 day conference, I always felt that pressure about meeting many people,
Mm-hmm.
meeting everyone, because you don't know if tomorrow's you're gonna keep in touch with everybody, or if they're going to be in town, or you're gonna do any activities. But when you're doing a 2 day conference, you're gonna have the first day, you're gonna talk to a few people, but it's gonna be relaxed. You don't feel rushed, and then you're gonna have the party in the evening, and maybe some activities in between how we had that friendly, and people, they talk more and they connect more. And the second day, you're already friends. You already have jokes. Everybody knows each other. You everybody met in a more relaxed setting. So it's to me, having a conference and putting on a conference is more about creating those connections between people, enabling creating those connections. And I think having 2 days and that extra party day, extra activity days between them, that's just perfect. So yeah, I just knew that that's the kind of conference I want to put on. It's
I
Yeah.
think
definitely more
also
difficult. Yeah, it's definitely more difficult, like with logistics and everything, but I think it's worth it.
I think it's also really important when you want to attract people from other countries, because for 1 day conference it's kind of
Yeah.
difficult to get them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
like for example, 2 weeks ago, both me and Adrian went to Helvetic Ruby in Switzerland, and I really had the impression that most of the people who live within, I don't know, like 3 hours from the
Yeah.
location left at 5 o'clock or whenever
Yes.
the conference was over. So, like, I know they arrive at 10 in the morning when the conference starts.
Yeah.
Then they just like watch the talks, and the moment the conference is over, like 80% of the people who came,
Yeah.
who are within, like, I know, driving distance, leave. And the next day there were just me, Adrian, and a few other people who traveled the distance, who like stayed and hung out
Yeah.
and I know, made our second day of the
Yeah.
conference.
We did have a few Swiss hosts with us, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Mario was there, Alex, Marco. So everybody, we did have some Swiss hosts with us. So yeah, thank you for sticking around. Yeah, I mean, having a 2 day both of you make perfect sense. Like coming from abroad, it makes sense to stay like for 2 days, and it really sets the tone a little bit for the conference. Like, okay, we're gonna be there to make friends. We're gonna be there a while. We traveled a long way. It's not gonna be just a get on the train in the morning and get back at home at night, and okay, we've seen a few talks and whatever. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
agree.
but still, I have an idea to make uh, some tourist activities in the Saturday after the
Yeah.
conference. So something which we can see the city and make more connections.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, you told me about that, and it's very important. Like I'm starting to think like some conferences they do this, the extra activities, some don't, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a must to do it, but it's definitely a nice thing to have at a conference, to have it organized to do some activities. I remember the first one I noticed was, I think, Sin City Ruby, when Jason announced that they will go somewhere into the desert to do a hike together, he and his wife, and everybody else was invited. And then Jeremy with Blue Ridge Ruby, he did two activities actually. They did tubing on a river, and then another activity which was traveling to a nearby town. I can't really remember, but again, that's the extra, pinch of salt that you put on the conference, and everybody has a good time. Yeah, just a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
job
yeah.
for doing it.
It's exactly for those connections, for those friends which
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
got.
so it's nice to know that there'll be like some additional activities on Saturday.
Yes, it's not announced yet, but I'm
Well,
thinking.
announce it here. I mean, don't say, you don't have to say what, but tell people that, hey, stay in town, so get your ticket like a day later or something, because on Saturday or on whatever day we're gonna do something. So it's better to announce them. Maybe even if you don't want to announce what, but people would like to know so they can schedule their travels.
Yeah, there is a possibility that we will go for the swimming pool, saunas, and so on to to get rid of hangover.
Okay, so people should book 1 day extra after the conference to enjoy it, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Talking
Perfect.
about swimming pools, actually, like a couple of years ago, they opened this giant water park 40 minutes away from Warsaw. And
Yes.
living in Warsaw, previously I used to go to, I think it's called Europa Park or something like that, that is like next to Berlin. So I know me and my wife would
Mhm,
drive for like
mhm.
6 hours just to go to the water park next to Berlin. And they opened an even better water park next to Warsaw. So another reason to visit Warsaw in winter is just going to this water park. It's like amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good way to spend time in the winter to relax in warm place. Okay, I can
That's
also
beautiful.
share a bit about the presenters because I said about workshops already, but I
Go
would
for
like
it.
to also share a bit information about the speakers because we decided to get the best one. It's also from through the community, but also from the renowned people from the worldwide Ruby community. So
Who are they?
we have Javier Noria will come to us with the presentation. Stephen Baker, the creator of RSpec. There will be Michał Łęcicki who will be talking about the archetypes in Ruby on Rails, and the fourth one is not announced yet, but stay tuned.
Secret.
Nice.
And
Where can people? Yeah, go for it.
we are also thinking to maybe make an additional presentation because there's so many cool presentations which we can get, but maybe
Where
we'll
can
start
people?
from 4 p.m., not 5 p.m., and we'll see.
Where can people go and subscribe to keep up to date with the with news for the conference?
So there is a website, Ruby Community Conference.com, and there you can find all information there for sure. there is a newsletter which you can sign in, and there are
Nice.
also information on our social media channels,
Which is?
which is Visuality PR. Unfortunately,
Okay,
it's
on
like
Twitter
that.
and on LinkedIn.
It's on Twitter, it's on LinkedIn, it's on sometimes on Reddit, Facebook, and so on. So almost everywhere. Unfortunately, it's still on Visuality sites because it was like we're discussing about that, and I think it's really important to create that social network pages for the conference because it's an event, and there will be another episodes of that editions.
It's
But
okay.
we
It's
decided
okay.
there is so many already profiles to do those marketing stuff, and we are a small company and we have not that much force. So
Yeah.
we are doing our best to do it.
Okay, and we've got a few more blitz, like quick questions to you. So, what are your
Sure.
favorite Ruby gems, like the first couple that come to mind?
Rails.
Well, obviously,
It's first, which is kind of my mind. Yes. So it's obviously. So the best one. I'm already thinking about there is some worse one. They impact me more than the positive one. But yeah,
Do
I
you
think.
do any more coding, Mariusz?
Uh, so already not, unfortunately, and I'm sad with it because
You miss it.
you know I miss it sometimes, but I stopped doing it a year ago or something like that. I'm still going through the business part, and I'm closer to that. I'm not stopped doing that. That I'm not see code at all, and I don't know about anything about it. I'm still doing code audits and checking pull requests and so on. But I'm not coding, on a daily basis. And sometimes it's
Gotcha.
and like,
heartbreaking.
how many engineers are there at Visuality?
17.
17. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Engineers.
like, do any Visuality projects use Avo?
Stop it.
Not, but we have our startup, which started to use Ava.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
we are, if there will be a possibility to start maybe the new project from scratch, we will be for sure will be uh, trying to use it. We'll go with that because we already know that no more active admin. We tried Trestle Gem and it was cool at the beginning, but now we see how many things there is. It's lacked in Trestle, which are in Avo. So we'll be using Avo for sure.
That's cool. Anything else do you want to touch upon before we close?
I can talk about the meetups and the conference a lot, but I think we touch a lot already.
So everybody should just come to the conference. So it's rubycommunityconference.com.
Yes,
It's on
it's
February 2nd. You already announced 3 speakers with one more incoming, and you're going to have workshops half of the day. So everybody that's in the area, definitely go check it out.
yeah.
So
I have a question.
go for it.
Do you want to come to the conference?
Yaro, I think this is for you.
I mean,
Yeah.
you asked want, so yes, I obviously want to come. You did not
Of
ask me
course, of
whether
course.
I will come.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I
of
know.
course.
It's probably is a problem also with the one-day conference,
Yeah.
with the long trip and so on. But you are always welcome. You don't need a conference to come to us. You have a place in our office, and we can.
Yeah, actually,
We,
like, I was visiting a couple of weeks ago, also in Warsaw, and it was really cool to just go to the Visuality office and work from there and just hang out with you. I think I posted a picture somewhere where like I'm just like hanging out with you and working from the office.
Yeah, it was really cool that you visited us.
You sent me photos. Yaro sent me photos, and I was a little bit jelly. Like, it would have been nice to be there to work with you guys. Like, it was nice to hang out.
But it was quite funny. Like, I look at everybody's laptop, and like there is an Avo sticker. Like,
oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You gotta have the stickers. You buy the domain and then you create stickers and then you build something. This is how it goes with ideas and products and startups.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's just perfect. Okay, so where can people find you, Mariusz? Visuality.pl.
Yes. Also, I have my own profile on the LinkedIn. I have my own profile on Twitter.
Perfect.
Facebook too. So you can find it there for sure.
We will add links to all of those in the show notes. Thank you so much, Mariusz, for coming today and talking to us about Visuality, the cool things you do, the conference and the meetups. I think it's great that you're supporting the community in this way.
Yeah, it's really important for me also to supporting it. When I'm seeing how it's growing, it's really the Ruby now. It's blast. It's so many conferences that we have to beat for the time to do it.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I agree. Cool, guys. It was nice talking to you, and we'll keep in touch. See you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank
Bye.
you for the invitation. See you.
Bye.